Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Wrestling, a wrestling podcast. My name is Mark, one of your hosts. I'm here with my wonderful wife.
That's me,
Yeah,
Jamie.
see, it sucks when it gets done to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of time for an intro, so we're going to have to just jump right into it because we have
it.
a lot to cover. What day is it? It's Thursday.
Yes.
So it's the day after AEW Dynamite, and only a few days before AEW's fourth and final pay-per-view of the year, Full Gear.
Oh, you got it correct this time.
I did. I that's what that long pause was my brain processing the difference between the words all out and Full Gear. It's the 2-word thing. I can only like pay attention to the patterns of the words.
Understandable.
So I know 2 words. So when you name all of your pay-per-views fucking 2 words, except for one, it's 1 word. I don't know. How are you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing well.
I should already know that. We've lived together.
Yeah. I'm doing well. I'm ready to go over some WWE wrestling. What do you think?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Up first, we had Monday Night Raw. And we started out with
Monday Night Rollins.
We started off with Rollins coming out and cutting a promo about just how great he is.
And how crispy his hair is.
It was extra crispy.
Very.
Super chicken fried, extra KFC style. It was bad.
The drip god had some dry hair.
He could have used a little bit of that baby oil off of somebody back there and just kind of threw it up in them locks because that shit looked like Miss Frizzle up, and I don't know. That was bad. I don't know what he's doing with that. I don't know. I hope he's planning on something.
Also, why do every time there is some type of promo with Seth Rollins, it gets interrupted with somebody else feuding with somebody else, and then just Seth Rollins is just like, nope.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just keeps happening.
Yeah, because
weird.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley came out, was talking trash about that's my United States title, and then Ali came out talking trash to Bobby Lashley. So Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of Ali, and then Rollins did the same thing he's done for the past 3 weeks and just kind of walked out the ring and up the ring.
Yeah, and Mustafa Ali just kept getting up, so Bobby Lashley was like, if you want it, you can have it, but it's not going to be good.
Yep.
So up next was Mustafa Ali versus Bobby Lashley.
And pretty much it was like any other time he's fought Bobby Lashley. It was just absolute slaughter.
Oh, yeah.
They just beat the hell out of him.
At one point, Bobby Lashley actually picked Mustafa up and threw him at Corey Graves like he was just...
Yeah, I actually missed that part. I remember I could hear you from the living room. But I don't know what they're doing. It was good. I don't know what they're doing with Ali, though. Like, this, great. You make Bobby Lashley look strong. Like, great.
But it doesn't need to be Mustafa Ali that comes and does that, you know?
But
he was, like, on the up and up for a little bit, like, being super tough guy. Like, you know, you give me this opportunity, and I liked that. I liked that side of him. And then all of a sudden, it's just, you're going to keep calling out Bobby Lashley, and nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like his gimmick is...
Kind of odd.
It's like his gimmick is like, well, I'm never gonna stop until I get it. Well, that's not how it works. If you challenged him and you lost, and now just because it went to another person doesn't mean I'm gonna challenge him, because I don't know. It just makes him look almost desperate.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you put him up against your triple A talent, and to just get absolutely destroyed, it's like, damn, what are you gonna do?
It's unfortunate.
Like, you're just burying the poor guy.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they do something with him. I hope, like, Bobby Lashley takes him under his wing or something and does something with him. But it's bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Well, Bobby clearly got the win.
Yep.
Because I seen that a mile away. AJ Styles then challenges Finn Balor at Survivor Series.
Yes.
And says that this is the end of it, but that tonight he has a match to worry about, so he's got to move on himself.
Really, really spreading out this Judgment Day OC feud. I mean, it's... And then again, I don't know what other faction, maybe except for Hit Row. Well, I guess that would be Hit Row with multiple people, with a female individual.
Uh-huh.
So, I guess you could only go so many routes with this feud. I mean... But you got Hit Row, and now you got... Well, now, see, I start talking, and I start thinking. You've got...
Talk yourself right back out of it.
The group that Selena Vega's in.
Mm-hmm.
I can never remember their name. It's
Unfortunately,
Phantasmo.
I cannot either.
Del Phantasmo, I believe.
Yeah,
something
it was Santos Escobar.
Yep. I think, honest to God, that WWE is gearing up to a trios tag titles.
That would be interesting.
I think. Well, I mean, look at it. There's multiple 3-man tag teams.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the New Day is one of the original ones that are present, but Big E's out. But I just named 4 of them. All of them having a female counterpart in the group. I mean, it's a dynamic that WWE hasn't really gone into much. Was a little bit with the intergender. I think it'd be cool to see a trios tag title match or tag champions, and I don't know.
Sure, I mean they just got rid of a belt. I mean,
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. But I think they're looking for another mid-card women's belt. I don't think they're.
Hope not.
No.
No.
You don't want the cruiserweight of women's?
No, you need like the intercontinental of women's.
Well, that's what a mid-card belt is.
Intercontinental Championship is like pretty top tier.
They're trying to put a lot. I think that's the one nice thing about having Roman have both world championship belts is they're not going anywhere, so you have to build stories around your mid-card, your like intercontinental, your United States.
You do have to, especially somebody that Roman that just comes out, doesn't really wrestle much.
Right. You can't. Theory said it perfect later on in the night when he talks about it. Roman's the top dog. Like, I can't beat him because the bloodline's always there. He's always going to be champion,
right?
As
if
long
somebody's
as
not
everything
there,
stays the way it is.
Yeah, if somebody from the bloodline's not there, then you've got a professional boxer there to back you up,
right? So I'm going to
go. It made a lot of sense.
I'm going to go for my next achievable goal, and that's the mid card belt because that's my belt. That's the one that I'm bringing prestige to.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but
I know. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place tonight.
Gotten to Mia Yim's re-debut versus Tamina. I put Snuka. That's not right.
She doesn't go by that anymore.
Tamina, nobody Mina.
WWE does.
Blame her?
Yeah.
If something's wrong and something does somebody in their personal life that is wrong, WWE just erases it.
Pretends like it never happened.
I.e.
Jimmy Superfly who?
Chris Benoit.
Chris who? Jericho? He's in that other company. A t-shirt company.
The office company.
The office supply company.
Yes. So again, we had Mia Yim versus Tamina. Nobody Mina. Rhea and Dominic Mysterio were ringside. And it was a quick one. I mean, of course.
Right.
Mia Yim's back. Of course, she picked up the win
now,
with the defeat.
And of course, all of this is pending her being offered a spot in Damage Control
plus Bailey.
Yeah, I think we can just
plus
say Damage
Nikki.
Control at this point.
Yeah.
I think they're all 3 Damage Control. But she has an open invite to join Damage Control. Damage Control.
Yep, and that happens, but not right after this. So you're not quite there.
I told you I'm all over the place tonight.
Because that does happen, but
Too
not
much
yet.
coffee. Not enough coffee.
But not yet. So Mia ends up winning. Rhea comes up to the apron like she's going to get in the ring. And then, heel move. She doesn't. So we're kind of, adding a little bit of fuel to the flame when it comes to Rhea Ripley and Mia Yim.
I mean, do we need to add any more fuel to that flame? Rhea is white hot.
Oh, yeah.
With heel heat. And it's awesome. She thrives in this environment.
Oh, she's killing it.
Oh, she's great.
I love it.
I love the like dirty mommy thing which she's got going
For
with
real.
Dominic. It's so like one of those ones where you're just like, ugh.
It's
I
interesting.
hate it, but I love seeing it every time.
It's subtle.
To
it's
me,
not overplayed like Ty Mello and, Sammy Guevara.
Right. To me, it's like a more sinister version of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. She's in it because she's with Karrion Kross.
Right.
Rhea's in it because she gets her fucking rocks off on it. Who fucking knows? Or it benefits her in some way, but she's not tied to this kid.
I'm really excited, and this is jumping companies again. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with Julia Hart, if she's going to be taking more of a dominant role
Yes,
in
I
this
hope
as
so.
opposed to Malachi Black. It's kind of seeming that way, which I'm excited for. Not that I don't like Malachi Black leading the group, but I like the idea of
strong, independent woman.
Well, I mean, of course.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I think I agree 100%.
Up next on WWE Raw, Riddle was backstage with Kathy Kelly, and he was talking about his new band with Elias and
His bong.
playing his bongs and
Again, I'm so tired of that shit. That joke
it's
already.
so overplayed. It would have been funny the first time and then just dropped, but nope.
Yep.
Then Chad Gable and Otis showed up, and Chad says that he was going to beat Riddle. Chad Gable says that he's going to beat Riddle like Otis beat Elias last week.
And little Shinfo, Elias and Riddle apparently are in a band now.
Yes.
According to Riddle.
They haven't Corey Graves suggested a god-awful
Oh my god,
name.
I wish I remember what the name was. It was Smelly Grandpa. It was something stupid like that. It's Corey Graves. I mean, that one
was pretty dumb.
Guy looks like a fucking extra out of a Necromantics music video.
He really does. I hate every time the camera cuts to him and he has nothing to say. He's got to like do the eyebrow.
Yeah.
But lately on commentary, I've really been digging his commentary.
Really?
Yeah.
I still don't like him.
Not digging.
I don't like how he talks. You don't like Kevin Patrick? Oh, I love Kevin Patrick.
Not digging him. That's funny. No, not really digging the dynamic.
Well, I mean, your choice in men was always terrible anyways. Look who you married.
That's horrible.
I know.
I can't lie. I'm missing Pat McAfee.
Pat McAfee's my favorite. Like, he really is.
I hated him at first. I was like, who is this guy?
I hated Pat McAfee.
But now I'm like, look at him dancing for
Pat
fucking
McAfee,
Shinsuke.
come back.
So yeah, Riddle, blah, blah, blah. We're going to fight later. That happened. But not yet. Because we have about 300 backstage segments. So let's go with backstage segment number 2. Damage Control and Mia Yim. They're in the back.
Right.
Then this is when Damage Control is like, hey, you should join us. And she was kind of hesitant. AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. We call him Doc Gallows or Luke Gallows?
Luke Gallows.
Okay, Luke Gallows. They all come in, and Mia just kind of looks around at them, and she says, well, I was just leaving anyways. Kind of leaves Damage Control in the high and dry with no answer whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, they walked up with a cooler full of beers.
That's true. It was time to drink.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Then it was time for Riddle versus Chad Gable. And, maybe an unpopular opinion, in my eyes, the match of the night.
Oh, 100%.
It was just a fantastic, like, literal, fast-paced wrestling at its finest.
And you got two guys that are highly trained in this sport of wrestling. Not saying anybody else is less trained or anything like that. But honest to God, like, you've got
These
Chad
dudes
Gable.
Literally are professional fighters.
Oh, yeah. Like, you got Chad Gable, who's I'm just an absolute phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
And same
Olympic
thing with
athlete.
Riddle. And same thing with Riddle. Like, he was in the UFC. Granted, just both of them are just, the entire match was great. I love watching Chad Gable. I love watching Matt Riddle just for the technical aspects of them, and then putting them in the ring together. It was great.
It really was.
I wish they wouldn't have ended it the way they did. Chad Gable ends up winning by rolling up Riddle, and if I remember right, he not only did that. Yeah, I think he put his feet on. Yeah, he put his feet on the ropes, and then Otis grabbed his feet and held them down,
right,
so that he couldn't. There's no way that Riddle was going to kick out.
Right. He didn't need to do that.
I just wish they'd stop doing this with Chad Gable.
I wonder if this is just like fueling the fire with Matt Riddle and giving him to somebody to finally go up against, because he hasn't had a feud with anybody since Seth Rollins.
And and other than that, I think he's just kind of been in the wins since Randy Orton has been out.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
I mean, even now, he's in the storyline with not Ezekiel, Elias.
The wrong brother.
And I don't know.
He wasn't even there. It was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They keep mentioning it, but not really doing anything with it. So, I don't know. Speaking of people that they haven't done anything with in a really long time, this is a weird way to bring in Tozawa, but it happens. So, there's a poker night. JBL, Baron Corbin, somebody else, who fucking knows?
Random, yeah.
And they're drinking Ugandan whiskey. And they got a stack full of chips. And Tozawa comes and he says he wants to play. And he sits down.
Puts on some ridiculous ass neon glasses.
Oh, yeah. And JBL and Corbin are like, no. But then JBL's smart. Come on. He's like, hey, wait. Tozawa, do you know how to play? And he's like, nah, I don't know how to play. And he's like, well, your money's welcome here. And it cuts. That's all we get for right now, because It's a jam-packed Raw, and it's Miz TV time.
Yay.
Mike TV.
Mike.
Let's be real.
He comes out looking like Mr. Rogers took a shit.
Yeah, they made so many Mr. Rogers jokes.
I mean,
he had
did.
The hair gelled and glasses and what I thought was a sweater, but apparently he was very insistent it was a cardigan.
What the fuck's the difference between a cardigan
don't know.
and a
Ask
sweater?
Mike. But nonetheless, he wasn't hosting the show tonight. Byron Saxton was hosting the show. If you just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Byron. Did I say worst?
You said worse.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, Byron Saxton was the host of.
Why's everybody got to hate
Miz
on
TV.
Byron?
I'm just not a fan.
I know, but have you seen that man with his shirt off?
I don't care. What does that have to do with commentary?
That dude works so goddamn hard.
That's great.
And he, like, honest to God, every time they put him on camera, people do nothing but shit on him, and he smiles.
Hey, he's like you said you'd be. You would be
that is true.
in Chaos Project
that is true.
And just get your ass
Byron,
whooped.
give me a call. I'll be your, I don't even give a shit. I'll be your water boy for
yeah.
fuck's sake. Come on.
So Miz comes out, Mike comes out and says that he wants to tell his side of the story with Dexter.
Jamie's on a first name basis with the Miz.
Well, I mean, it's because Johnny Gargano insinuated we're dealing with Mike, not Miz. So he also brings out a picture of him and his family, which is hysterical. He's got a framed photo and it keeps showing like them like trying to really run home that he's a family guy and a hardworking, loving dad, He's at one point said he's been there for 18 years. Is that really fucking true? I never fact checked that, but why would he lie? That's insane.
18 years?
I remember watching him on MTV and he said back then, well, this is my dream.
How long ago was that?
Son of a bitch. Well, I was a child.
Oh, God.
Why do you have a pug video that won't stop? It literally won't stop. Yeah. So anyways, he said 18 years. Goddamn pug. 18 years he's been in WWE. He said that he is sorry for paying Dexter. He just wanted everybody's sympathy.
Oh my God.
That didn't work. He said he was stuck in the house all weekend depressed. It was hard for him to leave the house. He's been in shambles, so upset. And then here comes Johnny. Because he's got nothing better to do.
I know.
Than to, for some reason, to collect the debt that Dexter Lumis is owed.
Well, they've got a long history in NXT.
But
and they're running. I think they're trying to run off of that.
So you going over collecting debts for Jared?
Jared has no debts.
But would you approach somebody like that? You pay my man.
I mean, if that was his only paying job and they wouldn't, yeah.
So you're a good friend like Johnny Gargano.
Okay, I can kind of agree with you though. Because Dexter Lumis is obviously not an individual that is scared to stand up for himself.
No. Where is he?
Why is Johnny... Oh, he was there. He was the cameraman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But why is Johnny... Is it because... I don't know if they're trying to play off because Dexter doesn't speak.
Yeah, he speaks for him,
I don't know. So funny because I remember that dude. He was... Look him up in TNA. It was the... whatever, tough enough version of TNA had... His name's Sam Shaw. He is surfer dude. He's got blonde spiky hair. It is the most ridiculous thing, and I didn't realize it until 6 months after I first heard about Dexter Lumis. So to see him now be this super serious dude is really funny.
I mean, I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a fun gimmick, but
he could talk.
Let him come out and figure out a way to let him say something.
Oh yeah.
Let him be like Sammy Guevara and just use some cue cards or something. Something.
Yeah.
I mean, he draws. Have him draw a fucking picture.
And that's his gimmick already. And they started doing that, and then he just disappeared.
It just stopped.
Yeah.
It just stopped.
And it just, I don't know if this is an excuse to get Johnny on TV.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
So
I like it one week, and then I'll hate it the next week.
Yeah.
I'm wishy-washy over it.
So Johnny says that Miz is full of shit and that him and his family were in Cabo because Maurice posted pictures even though he wasn't in them. He's not stupid. Doesn't matter because in 2 weeks, Miz and Dexter will finally fight unless Miz, finds a way out of it like he always does. Won't. If Dexter wins this match, Miz pays him what he owes him and he gets a WWE title.
But if the Miz wins, Dexter's never to be heard from again.
How could he lose? Like,
this is how they're firing Dexter.
Sorry, Dexter.
They're going to change the match. It's going to be where they're going to be in Winnipeg? No. Where are they going to be?
I don't know where they're going to be.
Wherever they're going to be, it's going to be that screw job of that city. Dexter's going to get screwed. It's going to be the last minute or two, and they're going to shoot through the intercom or through
Dexter
the headpiece.
Dexter tapped.
I don't have to fix that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't see them going any other direction than letting Dexter win.
It's really stupid because how else would it go?
I don't know how.
Sorry, Dexter. Back to NXT.
I love how they act like the Miz has something to do with Dexter not getting a contract too.
But I love how they act like Johnny Gargano gets to make these stipulations too. He never even said he talked to Triple H.
It's because the inmates run the asylum in WWE.
No,
all the wrestlers
company,
make the Oh, that's right. No, that's AEW, isn't it?
Yeah,
the inmates run AEW.
Asylum.
I saw it's Twitter. Twitter is a shit pot of, especially now that Elon.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at CAW Wrestling
please.
Pod if there's a Twitter when this comes out.
Yeah, right.
Twitter literally headquarters is shutting down. People are getting fired.
That's another podcast. I'm telling you, conspiracy podcast. Look out for the Coffee and Wrestling, Coffee and Conspiracy podcast.
Coffee and Conspiracies. Would you listen?
I would.
Well, that's because you like conspiracies. I'm not asking you. I'm asking the people. Tell us on CAW Wrestling Pod on Twitter. Oh again, if it's there. So Shelton Benjamin is backstage with Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly getting her time lately. Triple H making up for it.
A lot of people super excited she was back, and I guess WWE listened.
Oh yeah, they definitely listened for sure. So Dominic Mysterio calls out Shelton. He said that he was in his prime when Eddie Guerrero and his dad were in their prime.
Yeah.
So he pretty much called him old man and said, I'll fight you. I
mean, to be honest with you, he said that, and I went, well, yeah, but, and I thought about it, and I was like, Shelton Benjamin's been around for 100 years.
He's still going, though.
Oh, my God, and he looks good.
And he looks phenomenal. But why are we bringing these guys out and squashing them like this? What a shame. But I think it's just a put over to Dominic Mysterio. I still think you're right, and I still think this is leading up to him versus Ray.
Who, Mysterio?
Yes, they're just building Dom up.
Oh yeah, you gotta, but that's gonna be a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, for sure.
It's got to be April. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. But Dominic picked up the win, and he looked good.
I also think all of these losses is gonna lead up to a Hurt Business reunion.
Well, of course it has to. Just a weird way to start off a group of people you haven't seen together in a while.
Yeah.
So after that was Austin Theory. He was backstage with Kathy Kelly, who's again getting that money.
They hired her back, so you got to use her as much as you can. She's getting paid the same. No
you might as well. But there's just been an unbelievable amount of backstage interviews, which, not gonna lie, so there has been an AEW ever since Renee's been there too.
Yeah, for sure. It's been nice.
She's a breath of fresh air, though. At any rate, so Austin Theory was upset because Kathy called him the former Money in the Bank briefcase holder.
He's been very butthurt about his loss, understandably.
Yeah, he's real pissed off, during all of this. He said that he became the face of the company, which, for a while, yeah, he really, really was. Obviously, aside from Roman Reigns.
Right.
And that now he feels more alive than he ever has. So he, looked like a completely different person when he was coming out there tonight. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He had a meaner look about him.
Not very happy-go-lucky selfie.
Yeah, didn't pull out the selfie.
Down. So yeah, he was not his usual self. He was saying that basically the opportunity for him to have the United States Championship again was stolen from him. That it should have been the greatest cash-in history. And out comes Dolph Ziggler saying worse. And who better to put Austin Theory over after this horrible circumstance than somebody like Dolph Ziggler.
Oh,
It was a really good match, but he needed to squash the shit out of Dolph. And he needed that win.
He squashed the hell out of him. Hit him with A-Town Down.
He hit him with 2 A-Town Downs.
Well, he hit him once, and then, of course, everybody's like, yeah, go for the pin, and he didn't. He picked him back up, and he hit him again. And then he threw him out the ring, and then into the stairs, and started beating his head into the table, and just mauled poor Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler ended up getting the win via DQ. But I think we're going to see a more intense a meaner side of Theory here going forward.
I think that's great.
Oh yeah.
I instantly was like, oh, okay, I can understand it.
Yep.
It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate it didn't get him a title, but it's okay because now he has like this drive in him. He has this want to get a title, as before it just seemed like something that was just bound to happen.
Well, he's even said, he no longer wants to be the up and coming. He wants to be the now.
Yeah.
So
it was actually really interesting.
They've turned something that I think a lot of people thought had no idea why they would end up having him cash in like that, and they made it into something that's going to develop into something good.
Yeah.
It's going to be I think it's going to be a good little storyline plot.
I think so too. He's so young, he's got so much time ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what they do with him.
Oh, yeah.
So, long story short, JBL, Baron Corbin, and Tozawa finish up their game. Baron Corbin's got the last hand. He cheats, lies, says it's something else. Tozawa calls him out on it, wins everything, and is like, hey, I'm going to fight you in a match later. Walks away from all the money. Did you notice that? He didn't take any of the chips. He just left everything and was like, I'll see you in the ring later. So Tozawa getting a match. That wasn't a 24/7 match or him getting married to
Dana Brooke.
Tamina no one Mina.
Was it Tamina? I thought it was Dana Brooke.
Mm-hmm. It's Tamina.
Who also was on. Wow, they finally made all the 24/7 participants actually relevant. Have a part in Raw.
Yeah. Poor R-Truth blew out his quad.
Oh, yeah.
But man, everybody there was just really relevant. So
and they all
interesting
got
to see
squashed.
that actually happened. Tozawa hit the Tope Suicida. The ding.
A good one.
And then he went to hit a second one, and Baron sidestepped.
Yeah.
And he just slammed into the barricade. And it wasn't Tozawa's best match, but it was nice to see him in a match.
Yeah, right. And I don't remember the last time we even saw Tozawa on TV.
Yeah, it was good.
If it was, I'm sure it was the 24/7 championship.
Absolutely. But, the usual. Baron Corbin, end of days.
Yep.
Picks up another win.
Yep.
So they end up explaining about War Games and how the whole Bianca and Bayley thing, as far as the teams go, that there will be an advantage because one member of Bianca's team and one member of Bayley's team will compete on Raw for the numbers advantage for War Game.
Right.
So that was one of the things. They haven't said who yet, as far as I know. I don't know if you looked it up, but as far as I know, they have not said that. Again,
I'm sure that'll be a game time decision. Because they also haven't said anything about their fifth member.
No, they have not.
So there's still one in the wind. I mean...
Any guesses?
Charlotte Flair.
Okay. I was
100%.
thinking maybe Beth Phoenix because of the whole Rhea Ripley thing.
Yeah, but Rhea's not involved in the other team, though.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, that's right, she is.
Yeah.
That's right.
They announced that as well, so...
I forgot about that. That's because Mia Yim ended up joining.
Correct.
That's right.
Correct.
But see, I think having Charlotte Flair come... Because Charlotte Flair and Bayley...
Of course. Of course. That'd be fantastic if you heard anything from Charlotte Flair.
You also have Becky Lynch, who
that'd be great too. That separated shoulder was gnarly.
She formed a strange bond with Bianca Belair.
Or I'm sorry, Bianca Belair
when she lost the belt to her.
Correct.
Or lost the title match to her.
Right.
So
they kind of shook hands, insinuated that they would be kind of teaming up, and then that was
I've heard rumors that she's been able to heal a lot faster than they expected.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah.
Because honest to God, until the end of the match, I had no idea that she got hurt.
I know.
She played it off so fucking well.
She apparently got hurt early, too.
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
Insane.
I saw the replay. It was absolutely horrible. I don't know how she kept going.
Just gotta.
Two of them
on that big of a stage, you gotta.
Oh, my God. The two of them are two of the best wrestlers in WWE. Not just women.
And then, not just phenomenal. That, but who re-debuted after being gone for months on end with injury and also gone from being fired. Damage Control debuted in that match.
Bayley came back after a long stint of being gone.
And they challenged Bianca and enrolled fucking Becky Lynch, separated shoulder and all.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So it's either going to be Charlotte. I think it might be both. Because we're still got one spot open on the other team, don't we?
No. There's only one position left.
Oh, that's right. Nikki Cross. Yeah, I got to remember these things. I should write this stuff down.
That's okay. I actually have it written down if you want me to read it.
I mean, I think we want to go over it, but go for it.
It is Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa, Mia Yim, and
Whoever. Insert name here.
CM Punk.
But speaking of Io Sky, she had a match with Dana Brooke.
She did.
And again, another 24/7 participant being sent to the wind. It's good to see Dana Brooke on TV, but
she had a couple good moves. I'm not going to lie. I've never been a fan. Speaking of Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, right. That was the last time I really remember seeing her on TV. It was back when Charlotte Flair had her as a little crony.
But she had a couple good moves, but of course we all knew it wasn't going to lead to a win.
No.
So it's main event time, but before that happens, another backstage just diamond, absolute diamond. I have to tell you what Finn Balor said before the match started. I don't think you caught this, Mark.
No.
He said, "I'm Finn Balor, and I'm finna go out there and become the United States champion."
I did hear that. I
No,
think I pushed it to the back of my brain so I wouldn't remember it. Yeah.
So he had a lot of confidence going into the match, and Finn Balor took on Seth Rollins.
Yeah, and it was for a main event Raw.
Between these two?
I mean, they were great. They did a great job between the two of them, but I don't know. Like, I really can't. I didn't write any notes, and I can't honestly think of anything that really stood out.
I feel like that wasn't the main event, though. I feel like the main event was just Austin Theory coming out and beating up Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the main event, like the rest was just cannon fire, too.
Yeah.
Oh, and here comes Austin Theory to just define that heel role.
Oh, yeah.
And he kept screaming, "A visionary, huh?" Like, that's all he kept saying, just over and over and over. He beat him into the announcer table.
He did the same thing he did to Dolph Ziggler. That's his name. I forgot who he was wrestling. But yeah, Seth Rollins got the win over Finn Balor, and soon after that, Austin Theory stormed the ring and absolutely just laid waste to Seth Rollins, and we saw a spitting, drooling, rabid, feral Austin Theory as WWE Raw went off the air.
Yes, male version of Liv Morgan.
Great. Now they're making
everybody's gone crazy.
Now they're making all the short white guys go crazy.
I know. They should have went for the whole zombie thing again for Halloween. Would have been perfect.
No, I don't ever want to see that again. That was terrible.
Trash.
That was the worst. Oh God.
It was a long and an interesting Raw, but let's move on to what I think was one of the best Dynamites in a very long time. Not that Dynamite's bad.
Yeah.
But AEW Dynamite. Wow. WWE is notorious for the week of their pay-per-views to not do much. Probably the smart move. You really, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that. Probably a smart
tonight.
Move to not have somebody who's going to be on the card wrestle the week of.
Mm-hmm.
That's not pre-recorded. It's probably a bad move.
Especially in such an intense match is what happened.
Yeah. But that's not what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about this match that's leading up to the ROH World Championship match. Claudio Castagnoli and Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho.
I'm not going to lie. I got really confused on this match because I was thinking it was the 4-way match.
Yes.
And I kept trying to figure out why everybody was standing on the outside of the ring.
Understandable. Why are you tagging in?
And then I saw them tag and I went, oh yeah, that's at the pay-per-view.
Kind of confusing, but yes, we had a tag team match.
Had to delete 3 tweets.
Understandable. That happened Saturday, but for now, this happened, which was, again, unreal. They had their one of their matches for Saturday happen on Dynamite.
Who would have thought these 3 dudes would be in the ring?
It's really crazy. I really have those moments all the time where I'm watching something and I just get caught up and I'm like, can you fucking believe that Bryan Danielson's in AEW?
It's insane.
He's
not.
Fuck?
Chris Jericho's not with WWE.
No. Can you believe that Claudio Castagnoli is no longer in AEW or WWE?
Yeah.
He never won a world championship belt.
Yeah.
And came to AEW and within 4 months won a belt.
Oh yeah.
He's appreciated. God, oh my God. Talk about people looking great. He is in top physical shape.
God, he's gotten better every year.
Him and Bryan literally have.
I don't know. Bryan's looking kind of homely lately.
He looks homely.
But he does that every once in a while.
But his performance.
Oh, yeah.
Is always
not bad for a guy who was told that he'd never wrestle again.
for real. All the things that these guys have been through, but it was a fun match. The biggest concern, I think, was Bryan Danielson's eye.
Yeah,
they were talking about how he had a detached retina at one point, and that there could possibly be a re-injury from the Sammy Guevara match that was the 2 out of 3 falls from the week previous. So he was holding that eye a lot.
Yeah, he was really nursing it.
Yeah. I mean, it was super fun.
Oh yeah, the big moves back and forth. There was, everybody was doing their thing. Sammy doing the flippy floppins.
Of course. There was that part where Claudio did that huge pop-up European uppercut. He threw Sammy Guevara up, hit him with the European uppercut, and I swear he flew like 10 feet in the air. It was absolutely insane.
Oh yeah.
Sammy's so good at selling it, but Claudio's so good at making it look like it's just absolutely brutal.
Oh, and he's mastered those European uppercuts.
Oh, they're so perfectly well executed. Like, you never see a botched one.
He had Jericho in the corner and was just absolutely laying into him.
Oh,
it was good.
So good.
Great match.
Yeah, speaking of Jericho, he spun Chris Jericho around 16 times.
Yeah.
Like, I was dizzy just watching it.
I would have puked after 4.
So he's done this to Chris Jericho so many times, but I don't think ever that much.
And on top of that, and this isn't the first time all these guys have gotten into a giant ass fight.
No.
But Claudio got the win.
He made Chris Jericho tap.
Yeah. With the sharpshooter. Or the Scorpion Deathlock. Or the whatever other name we can come up with on this one.
Doesn't matter. It picked up the win.
Yeah. Great match.
See if maybe that shadows a little bit of what happens on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll talk about our predictions here soon.
Yes, we're going to talk about that at the end of the episode.
So, Anthony Bowens
quite possibly the most heartbreaking match of the night.
But before it happened, we were treated with what I kept forgetting was happening. A special music video.
Oh, the Acclaimed music video?
There was an Acclaimed music video. It featured fake-ass Swerve and fake-ass Keith Lee. And holy shit, it featured Captain Insano.
The original Captain Insano.
OG. It was hilarious. Go back and watch it if you haven't seen it. It's hysterical to think that they get so much time to put these music videos on, especially during like a Dynamite.
They look like they just recorded it walking down the beach with an iPhone.
All their music videos look like that. Like, I really think that's what they do. I think that's like the uniqueness to it, like very DIY.
They use the Dead Fly Radio ethic.
For sure.
We got a house. Let's use that as the recording
why
studio.
would we hire somebody to like use their house when you could just use our house? We're just scissoring in the living room. I mean, come on. Maybe use your mom's house and kick her out,
Oh my God.
Anyways, it was absolutely hysterical. But the second it cut, Daddy Ass was on Swerve Strickland.
Oh yeah, he ran up the
he was
up
not
the ramp,
playing.
Started beating the hell out of him.
It was really weird though, I'm not gonna lie. Like Swerve Strickland's music hit, he came out, he did the like dip down thing, and he sat there for a second, and I was like, why isn't Keith Lee's music hitting? So I did the same thing as you did. I was like, where's Keith?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking that it was gonna be a tag team match, but it was just a random one-on-one. That's all you think. Okay, whatever. Random one-on-one. Yeah, the refs kick out Max Caster and Daddy Ass right away, because obviously Daddy Ass was not going to play nice.
No.
I don't know if he ever plays nice, but, that's okay. So, Swerve gets a couple good moves in.
Gets a couple really good moves in. And then, I don't know what he was thinking, but he did some type of arm
What was this?
wrench.
Like a side body stretch?
I don't know. It was violent, though. Like, I even watched it.
It was horrible. And the second I watched it, it was just like a gasp.
And then the second it happened, Anthony Bowens started nursing the shoulder.
Man, he stretched the shit out of that shoulder.
Now, in wrestling, obviously, you're trying to sell an injury, and Anthony Bowens has an injured shoulder to begin with that put him out for a little bit. And it seems like it might have been aggravated again.
Yeah, because he was on Twitter definitely wearing a sling.
Swerve got the win, but honest to God, then there's one thing I did notice. Swerve threw everything that he had in his arsenal to keep Bowens down. Like he used every single move.
So hard with his hits and shit. Like,
but I mean, he hit both his specials, and he saved up 2 finishers. And I mean, he absolutely destroyed Bowens.
So in the ring, we cut to Samoa Joe. He's doing an interview with Tony Schiavone. I think Samoa Joe made a little jab at Triple H.
A big jab at Triple H.
He said something like, the last time I was in the ring with somebody like this and my work relationship, something like that, and didn't go very well. And somebody by the name of Paul.
The other guy named Paul that I worked for.
Yeah, and I had like that 30 seconds of, what'd he say? Oh, shit, Paul Levesque. So I think he was talking trash about Triple H.
Yeah.
Which is fun, because now Samoa Joe's totally heel, and that's obviously fucking
Oh,
apparent.
yeah. So good.
And this is all just to set up again, the rivalry that the three of these people have had recently, just within the last, week? Was that last week that?
I think it's been brewing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Last week he attacked.
Hobbs comes out, then Wardlow comes out. Wardlow sneaks up on Joe in the ring.
Hobbs came out and it was just going to straight be a beatdown between Hobbs and Joe.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just the two of them having the beef.
Like 2 steps away from them clashing, then you hear Wardlow's music.
Everybody's looking around, typical, like, where's he coming from?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes up and sneaks up behind Joe.
And it's just the thunderous big men of AEW just standing in the ring.
Oh, yeah, they were all...
One thing that Tony likes doing is at least one match per pay-per-view. There are just some chunky, meaty men.
It's great.
Throwing each other around.
He gives you them flippy floppies. He gives you the big meaty men. And he gives you more than one women's match.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
Even championship matches.
Yeah.
Like higher up on the card.
I agree.
Which gotta say, WWE is getting better with their women's division.
They really are.
They really, really stepped up their game. And honest to God, I'm going to say it right here, hot take or not, I really think that WWE has a better women's division right now than AEW.
I gotta agree with you.
I hate saying that too because
it's getting there. It's getting there. It's coming back. I think Soraya's going to add a lot to it.
But
I think Madison Rayne is adding a lot to it.
But they've got a lot to catch up with.
They do, but AEW has a lot to catch up with WWE. I mean,
that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
It's just it's years of just figuring out what the product is and how to market it and how to promote it in the right way, and they know what the hell they're doing. AEW's doing well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's going to take some time.
No, I love the women's division in AEW.
Bringing in all these people like, I almost said Big Show, but, Taz and Billy Gunn, Christopher Daniels, Madison Rayne, all these people that have huge experience in other companies and having them come in and bring in their own opinion. Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
It's really starting to develop. It's just going to take a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
But the women's, it's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bit stagnant for a while, but it's coming back.
It's gonna look real good this pay-per-view.
Oh, it's gonna look real good in this pay-per-view.
So, of course, all 3 men are in the ring. And what happens when you have 3 testosterone-filled dudes, 2 with championship belts, 1 that wants whatever belt he can get his hands on, they start just throwing down. And the entire locker room clears. I mean, it's very reminiscent of Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley a few weeks ago.
Except no Riddle with the sandal.
No sandals. And they were just holding them back, and it set up another match for Full Gear, which is we're only 4 days away. We're still setting up matches.
But I instantly went, ooh!
I know. I did too.
It's fun.
You have Wardlow taking on Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs in a triple threat match for the TNT Championship.
I definitely feel bad for Wardlow because that doesn't mean that he has to be the one that gets pinned.
Right.
And the other 2 dudes are huge.
Oh, yeah. And Samoa Joe is a big, meaty man. Dude.
And he is pissed off in heel mode.
Oh, yeah.
Digging it.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Oh, and I love Will Hobbs.
I'm excited.
Hobbs is my dude.
I am so excited for this match.
It's a great opportunity for them. So, next up, the AEW World Trios titles were up for grab as Death Triangle faced Top Flight and AR Fox.
I mean, you had to know this was going to be a good match.
Well, Darius was back, which...
Yep, this is the return of Darius after
They could have just stood in the ring, and I would have been like, yay, Top Flight. So that was fun, and I feel like Dante always has a really good time when his brother's there. They just vibe off each other, obviously, really well.
It was like they had not missed a day of training between them.
And listening again to Darius's whole story, he was out for a year after they first debuted. Yep. And then he was out for 7 months recently.
Yep.
So he's been out a lot, and this was a car accident that took him out. So... crazy story. He's back. They looked great. And AR Fox was on their side.
I don't know
Dude
what.
is so good.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. If you don't,
I really don't know what else to say. He's
if you
just a
don't think
legend
that
in the
guy's
indies.
entertaining, that dude is
You are watching
a,
the wrong
a
promotion.
monster.
Can we just say, I think I say this every week, Death Triangle just has the best fucking entrance.
Oh yeah,
It's so sick.
it's so good.
It's so good. They're doing such a good job with them, and I hope they're not breaking them up by having like Pac kind of like go back and forth between good guy and bad guy. But here they kind of felt like they were on board with him. Like everything was cool.
Well,
they're
the
kind of
belts
more
are
on
on
the
the
bad guy
The
side
belts
now.
are on the line. Like you got like
Penta
good,
and
bad, or
Ray aren't
indifferent.
stupid.
You gotta defend that championship, whether you like Tom Brady or not. He might bring you the gold. So move him down to Tampa and whatever. Like now you're a Super Bowl champion.
And you're
like,
Brady fans here too, right?
Yeah, Brady fan.
So obviously we had 3-on-3 here. The matchup was Darius went up against Ray. Penta went up against Dante, and then we got to see AR Fox take on Pac at the end, and that was just like insane. It was AR's Dynamite debut. I think he said he grew up like 10 minutes from the venue.
So hometown
debut. And him and Pac were just so intense here.
And he's been all over AEW Dark.
He just did a match last week. I'm trying to remember who it was up against. Didn't get the win, but
it was
great
really,
match.
really good.
So long story short, Death Triangle ended up picking up the win. I think that was obviously something that needed to happen, make them look good, keep the belts on them for a little bit.
Well, it would have made the next segment really weird if they didn't.
Honestly, I didn't even think about this. Like, they keep teasing the Elite, but I didn't even think about a match happening.
I mean, I had a feeling,
so
but I didn't want to get excited.
Yeah, they get the mics, typical, we're going to talk.
Oh, yeah, and Pac
always the one.
Pac talking shit.
Yeah.
Brings up, he knows all the rumors and all the little side talk on Twitter. Some unnamed, unmentionable group who feels that they've been wronged. If they feel like showing up at Full Gear, they're more than welcome to challenge for the belts. And lo and behold, after the promo ended, it went to a graphic, which I'm sure was up on the Titantron in the arena. No,
they made it right then and there.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. That featured Death Triangle for in a AEW Trios Tag titled match, and on the right hand side, manifesting from dust, the Elite.
Was TikTok.
Was it TikTok?
Talk. Yep.
The Elite ended up forming. So it is confirmed the Elite are returning to AEW at Full Gear to wrestle for the Trios Tag Team Championship.
How dare Tony Khan side with them?
You're only saying that because we both own CM Punk shirts and they're like super crispy, and now we can't really wear them without somebody looking at us.
Listen, I can't sit here and be like, oh, I hate CM Punk, because it's been an epic ride. It's just a weird time now. I got my shirt in a grab bag deal. If you want like a dope ass wrestling t-shirt, but you really don't have the money for it,
all right,
go to Pro Wrestling Tees, cheap plug, and buy like the grab bag. Because listen, I thought I was gonna get
if you're gonna order tees, just throw one on there.
I thought I was just gonna get like some like random fucking wrestler, like some James Ellsworth t-shirt or something. But I was like, man, for $10.99, like I can't go wrong. Like I can't even buy
I know, right?
anybody's t-shirt for that price. So I pick up a couple, throw them on the order, when I'm getting t-shirts one time, and they come in. I get the brand new CM Punk
white
black collar white.
Oh my god.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That was like the best selling t-shirt of the year. I got in the grab bag, and then you got the Super Click.
The Super Click with the Bucks.
Yeah. And Adam Cole.
Yep.
Absolutely hysterical.
So I gotta go on a tangent. You went on a t-shirt tangent.
Yeah.
We're on the topic of the Elite. The Elite are coming back. It's out in the open. Even you hear at the MJF references the bullshit that's been happening in AEW. I gotta say this. I own a CM Punk shirt. I have not really been a CM Punk fan until he came to AEW, because CM Punk has always been a man that has had left like a bitter taste in my mouth, strictly because that man grew up very similar to me, to where he grew up listening to punk rock, latched onto it, and had it like really build his life and do good for him. So to me, when I look at that dude, I think if this dude's like true to what punk rock is, then he shouldn't be as bitchy as he is. And I swear to God, every single time this dude shows up, and does some shit and then fucking pulls some more shit and he gets whatever the fuck fired, he gets moved on, fucking he doesn't show up, he goes to UFC, like I'm so fucking disappointed in what happened to CM Punk's run.
Completely understandable.
Because I was on board. I have never been a CM Punk fan, like I said, until he debuted in Chicago in AEW. Something about it felt fucking magical. I bought the fucking whole goddamn deal. I swallowed the red pill. I fucking bought into it, got the shirt, got hyped for it, and then lo and fucking behold, it just it just sucks.
Go back
it just
and watch
sucks.
Eddie Kingston's promo against CM Punk when they're in the ring and they're talking shit to each other. I mean, the writing was on the wall. Oh, before we go too far, there was a backstage interview with Lexi Nair. Speaking of backstage interviews again, it had Top Flight and AR Fox. They were talking about the whole experience with Lexi. And again, AR was talking about this was his hometown. His mom was in the crowd, and he just was looking for a minute to be able to cry because he was just so overwhelmed. And then Lexi turned to AR and said, by the way, we just got word from Tony Khan, and we are offering you a contract to AEW. And man, I shed a tear for AR. I was so happy for that man.
Yeah.
Because after that match, that's what it felt like. You're like, damn, I want him to be a part of this.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same way with Bandito.
Oh, yeah.
After that Chris Jericho match, you're like, damn, I really hope he stays as a part of this. So
I know, right?
I can't wait to see what he does, but that was just
Now, I don't think it's been
fun.
confirmed or denied that he's accepted or rejected the offer yet. Nothing's been, as far as I know, as before this recording.
No, I haven't seen anything yet, but
he did retweet it. He did mention it in his tweets, which, that's as good as a contract as is in these days. So
nonetheless, at least he's getting appreciated and understands that he's got, a home if he wants one.
Right.
So speaking of Bandito, he faced Ethan Page.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We got like a pay-per-view quality
that was an
Dynamite
amazing match.
Like multiple matches on Dynamite were pay-per-view quality matches right before the pay-per-view. And I mean, come on, how long is the pay-per-view going to be? What, like 5 hours?
It's 11 matches.
What a stacked ass week. But we had Ethan Page and Bandito, and Ethan Page right off rip was extremely mad that he didn't get a huge pop. So he's just a great heel.
The crowd was flat.
They didn't deserve these matches.
No, during that trios match, there was like nothing.
I know, I kept saying it.
The women's match? Oh my God. You could have heard a mouse fart. It was terrible. It was so quiet.
It was bad.
And I know we've mentioned it before. It might just be fucking Florida people are just absolute batshit. But
right.
The 2 times we've been to AEW, it's been a fucking madhouse.
I can't imagine what it sounds like from the ring. Everybody's yelling constantly.
Oh my God, there's fans in the stands chanting different things against the other people that are chanting just to chant against them.
Right. Just because the crowd can't shut up.
This crowd here in Dynamite this night was just, oh my God. It was like they were like the Japanese crowds. They were silent.
Like they weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
Taz at one point did say that he thinks that Ethan Page is going to take the win, like go all the way on this one.
Yeah, he did. Which
impressive.
I believe that's what you said. Looks like you and Taz have very similar.
I'm just seeing the writing on the wall here, and it's looking good.
Yeah.
It's looking real good for my boy Ethan Page because he picked up the win. So he tried to hit the Avalanche Ego's Edge at one point, and that shit got reversed by Bandito, which was absolutely insane. Bandito had to get his good marks. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, Bandito can take the loss.
Yeah.
Ethan Page can't take the loss.
He could have easily taken the one, too, though.
He needed the win.
Yeah.
He's just on the up and up, and he's looking so good.
Glad to see Ethan Page is getting a little bit of a push.
Yep, super happy with that. So he's moving on in the tournament, the Eliminator tournament. Well, we had Tony Storm and Anna JAS.
Yeah. There's not much to talk about. It was
some filler.
It was a good, solid match.
There was some Sweet Cheeks music.
There was a couple of Sweet Cheeks music. I mean, even Excalibur said if we keep calling it that, we're gonna have to pay RJ City some residuals.
Shout out to RJ City for getting his first T-shirt. Yeah. Well, hey,
it's the cardboard that he drew on. That's his backdrop. It's great.
He kept getting mad at all the fans that had like cheap homemade AEW t-shirts. So now they're
Bootleg.
legit.
But yeah, Tony Storm picks up the win over Anna JAS. Then shortly after right after the match, Jamie Hayter comes down to confront her. Just one final push for this match at Full Gear. I was surprised, honestly. It's good to see that a women's match, I guess an Eliminator Championship match, is the main event of Dynamite. Like, I don't think anybody even pointed that out last night, which was kind of weird. It wasn't the last thing that happened in Dynamite,
right,
but it was the main event match. It just wasn't much to be a match about. Like,
no, I mean,
especially
they're reiterating that they were friends before and things like that. They're like showing old pictures and stuff, which is kind of cool. It adds a little bit of, fire to the flame here.
But this couldn't have been more of a WWE pay-per-view match.
Oh, for sure. It was shoulder nudges and I'll see you Saturday.
Yeah.
But there was more of that later. I believe Ricky Starks did announce that he was okay, though, right?
Yeah, he last week Lance Archer attacked him and legitimately injured him. So he wasn't cleared. I don't know what the injury was, but this Friday they've rescheduled the match, which was supposed to happen this Dynamite, but they've rescheduled it for Friday against Lance Archer. Whoever wins that will then wrestle Brian Cage at the pre-show for Full Gear, and then following that, whoever wins the Full Gear pre-show match will then fight Ethan Page at Dynamite the following week.
And what better way to end the night of Dynamite than with a promo by none other than Jon Moxley with William Regal in the ring?
Yep. Doing what they normally do, talking some shit.
John looked tired. He kept saying Sunday.
Yeah, he kept saying Sunday instead of Saturday, which him and MJF referenced it.
Yeah, at one point he was like, is it Saturday? Sunday? Saturday? Okay. MJF kind of broke character there for a second.
But John's cutting a promo, and he looks up the ramp, and Stokely's walking down.
Yeah.
And trying to distract him as the Firm storms the ring, holding Regal back, and they just start beating the hell out of Jon Moxley, which of course triggers face MJF to come down to the ring.
Of course. To
defend Jon Moxley. Lays out the ass boys on the ramp.
Yep.
Gets in the ring, and just...
Lee Moriarty out.
Kicks Big Cass right in the nuts, W. Morrissey.
Yep. The low blow, the eye poke. It was like Three Stooges style.
And saves the day. And I mean, hypes up the crowd and does everything that
MJF does well. I mean,
but in like the complete opposite way.
But he knows how to get you to love him too. And it's
in an instant.
He can take.
We've brought that up before.
He takes the crowd and they're like clay, and he can just easily manipulate them and just put them back and be like, "There you go. Now you love me." Yep. Oh wait, hold on. No, now you hate me.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. But he just talks shit basically to Jon Moxley, who's just laying there the entire time playing dead. And as soon as it's time for Jon to finally say something, he pops up like nothing and just super tough guy just talks his smack back, and typical bad guy, good guy.
Oh, it was great.
Good guy?
Good guy, bad guy,
promo
bad guy.
Before the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And holy shit, I'm really excited about this. These guys know how to perform, so it's just...
Oh, yeah.
You don't need any special stipulations to this match. It just needs to go down. And
that'll call it for Dynamite.
Pretty much calls it. Now, after the show, MJF did call out Tony Khan. I want to talk about that real quick. He brought out Tony Khan, and he was standing in the ring, and he yelled out to the crowd, "Did you come here to see Jon Moxley?" And the crowd kind of booed and said, "No, tell him who you came here to see." And everybody started screaming MJF, and he was basically talking up himself, but also the entire time really went out of his way to talk about how hard Tony Khan has been busting his ass to bring everyone wrestling. Mm-hmm. And not only that, support the guys in the back.
Yep.
AEW would be nothing without Tony Khan.
Right.
And that was really cool. Heel or not, it's nice to see MJF come out there. He even said something on Twitter about, we've never had like a better roster.
Right.
Oh, he definitely made a jab at the CM Punk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he said he's not going to allow anybody to come into his company and take a shit on it anymore.
Yeah.
So, because he said there was a lot of bullshit going on previously here in AEW.
But pretty much they're on track and they're not worried about that anymore.
Yep.
And Tony better pay up when it comes to the bidding war of 2024.
Yep. And he really needs
Still got to play that. He actually said, really I love WWE.
Oh, yeah. But this is all off TV,
Gotta
too. So.
play it. Of course. So that will wrap up the Dynamite before Full Gear.
Now, we still have Rampage, of course.
Of course.
So anything can happen.
Of course.
And it is live, too.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, anything can happen. We still obviously have SmackDown to talk about as well, but assuming life and all things that happen, we probably won't have time to talk about the predictions because I think we're going to lump SmackDown, Rampage, and the pay-per-view kind of in one little fancy grouped up Christmas present.
Yeah. And that should be dropping Monday.
So let's talk about predictions. Finally.
All right.
Took us a little bit because I got to be honest, there's a lot of matches, so let's try to get through this a little bit quickly. But
all right, I've got them pulled up here.
It was a really tough one to decide some of these winners, and I actually have one that I have no clue. So
right,
we'll have to talk one out.
We're going to start from the bottom up as the Wikipedia states as of right now.
Let's do it. So it's a pre-show match.
Now, this one's going to be a double decision.
Correct.
We've got the AEW World Championship Eliminator Tournament semifinals.
Yes.
But before that gets decided, who's going to win between Ricky Starks and
Lance Archer.
Sorry.
Ricky Starks.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And that'll make it real easy for you.
Ricky Starks. Yeah, I thought
Thank
the
you.
same thing.
Thank you. Make that one real easy. My dude.
Yeah, I can't see.
Up and the up and the up.
I can't see anybody else winning.
Come on, Brian Cage is going to go to ROH. Not trying to be that guy.
Lance Archer hasn't been on TV for a hot minute.
Why would we let him go? So stonks.
Okay.
All the fucking way.
This one, it took me a second. Wardlow, Samoa Joe,
yes.
Powerhouse Hobbs for the TNT Championship.
Are you asking me? Can I go first?
Go ahead.
Wardlow. All day.
Really?
It's going to be 3 seconds.
Really? Okay.
They haven't been doing a lot with him. They've been doing this whole Wardlow thing. This is a time for Wardlow to come in against two huge guys, two, no pun intended, powerhouse dudes, and come up victorious. Oh, yeah. Wardlow's got this all day.
I disagree.
I love it. What do you got?
Powerhouse Hobbs.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
I want to see some gold.
My dude.
I want to see some gold on that dude.
It would look good.
It would.
Man, I miss the overalls.
And I think that would be, the momentum would be huge.
Absolutely.
And then you put Wardlow against Samoa Joe.
I love it.
All right, up next we have Death Triangle taking on the Elite.
This is the one I'm having a hard time
really?
with.
I instantly picked.
Okay, so what do I want? Death Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen?
The Elite.
The Elite always do some shit
They're
like
gonna
this
win.
that, I mean, not to be like, it's their company and they're going to like have them win, but come on, you can't just be like.
But see, I don't think it's like that though. I don't think it's.
No, but it always works out that way. Like it always happens to work out for the Young Bucks and.
Yeah, but there's a reason why the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are at the top of the pile.
They're missed, man. They are so talented.
They toppled CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are they call themselves the Elite, and they went out and they made a company.
Oh,
like,
man.
I mean, come on.
Absolutely incredible. I gotta say the Elite.
It's got to be the Elite.
It's gotta be.
That's what I'm going with. After that, we've got Luchasaurus versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry
In a steel cage.
in a steel cage match.
And I think this is another opportunity to put somebody over. It's gotta be Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
I gotta agree with you.
Gotta be.
I gotta agree with you. I think he's gonna get his revenge on Christian
to put
Cage.
him over. Then he beat Luchasaurus in a steel cage match.
But then what do you do with Luchasaurus?
He can still be a tough guy, dinosaur.
33 million year old dinosaur.
I don't think he needs Christian. I think he can do his own thing. I don't think he needs to necessarily even talk. I think it's okay to have the quiet dinosaur. I'm into it, and I think there's things that we can do with
the
him.
new Disney Plus kids movie, The Quiet Dinosaur, brought to you by Coffee and Wrestling.
I mean,
Podcast.
Danhausen's going evil. That's pretty apparent. Maybe we have Danhausen versus Luchasaurus.
I don't think he would survive.
Danhausen's a better wrestler than AEW has portrayed him so far.
I know.
So
dude, I got to go with Jungle Boy too.
Okay. Sting and Darby Allin are going to be facing Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal.
Yep.
And it took me about 3 seconds to say that Sting and Darby Allin are going to win this.
Really?
They're undefeated. They haven't lost a match
and
together.
And that's exactly why they're going to lose. That's why Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal are going to break that streak. They're finally going to split up Sting and Darby Allin. And Darby Allin is...
And do what with Sting?
I don't know.
Just keep having him face Jeff Jarrett.
He's
That's cool.
Sting.
I know.
Fucking, he could just show up and be like, "Hey, I got face paint on and a baseball bat. Cheer."
I like the faction with him and Darby Allin, though.
Oh, I do too.
It hasn't gotten stale for me, I think, because
No?
they don't do it very often.
Yeah, but it's Sting. But I think Sting.
Steve!
I think Darby Allin needs to stop having, like, oh my
His
god,
emo daddy?
the matches against Brody King, like his single matches, they're awesome. They're great. Why does he need to be randomly tagged up with Sting every single time there's a pay-per-view? Give me a Darby Allin pay-per-view match.
Sure.
Like, for real. And you can only do so much with Sting around. Like, don't get me wrong, he does his spots, but you get one spot out of Sting.
Can we see Darby Allin versus AR Fox?
That'd be good.
That'd be really good.
That'd be really good. Maybe next pay-per-view.
Tony Khan, I'm telling you, I'll work for free. Just pay me in tickets.
No, not free. How many times have I told you this?
This is fine. I do it for the love.
Up next, we got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Saraya.
It'd be really stupid to have Britt Baker win this one. Britt Baker doesn't need a win again. It's Britt Baker.
But it would solidify her.
God, it would be good. But then what do you do with her? What do you do with Saraya after she loses?
You just have her do like everybody else does.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's going to be Britt Baker.
Okay.
Britt Baker.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at it. Britt's my girl, but okay. What about Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose? We're not even going to talk about what the hell they're doing with this. Just who do you think's going to win?
Jade Cargill.
I think so too.
I don't know.
Be really weird to have her lose this right now.
And I think Nyla could not. She can afford to lose.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Like, it looks like, honest to God, it just looks like she's having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan did say on this, they did the pay-per-view media call.
Mm-hmm.
And he did say that they really are letting her like her personality, like Nyla's personality, get like brought to the front with this.
It's very apparent.
Yeah, she's
like
very goofy, very.
Oh my god! If you like follow anything with Nyla Rose, Twitter's great with her. She's hysterical. She's a really funny person. All the videos I've seen with like Ethan Page's vlog and Danhausen's vlog and whoever it's been that's Nyla's in it. She's got a great personality and a great sense of humor. She's hysterical. So the second I saw this whole like stealing the championship thing, I was like, that seems like something Nyla would actually do.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%, and treat it like a playground, like bully kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. But
yeah, I gotta go.
Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Sammy Guevara, and Claudio Castagnoli.
I honest to God might have to plead the fifth on this one.
You're pleading the fifth.
I don't know. Like, I can't. The only one, if I had put a gun to my head, make a decision, Chris Jericho.
I think Chris Jericho as well, but I have a little bit more to back it up than just gun to the head.
What's up?
I personally think that it's going to get to a point where Tony Khan's going to sign this deal to get ROH's own show, and there's going to be some type of match beforehand, maybe a pay-per-view when it first starts, something like that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if a pay-per-view as soon as the deal's signed. And Chris Jericho goes up against somebody who's maybe a little bit known in AEW, more known in like ROH, or maybe more known in like the independent scene, and comes in and takes that belt off of Chris Jericho and has that reign of I beat Chris Jericho on the first televised ROH match, in 2023.
Right.
I think that's what it's going to be, is to push somebody over. Again, Chris Jericho can take the loss.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he's going to hold on to it long enough that it transitions over like that. And then they can make sure Chris and Brian and Sammy and Claudio all stay in AEW. And whoever it is, obviously transitions over to ROH. But I think it's somebody who's not here yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe even like somebody like Dalton Castle. I mean, maybe.
I mean, he already wrestled for it.
Obviously, he has. He's like wrestled for it. They have the what is it, a trios belt? And
they have the ROH trios tag belt, yes.
But they're not even signed to ROH, which is funny.
I don't believe so, no. I don't think anybody's signed ROH right now except for a handful of people.
But somebody like that would be fun. Dalton Castle comes in, he beats Chris Jericho, now he's the champ.
Right.
It's a big, huge thing, and you can keep your stars separate.
Yeah.
So.
Up next, we got Toni Storm, the interim women's champion, versus Jamie Hayter. Toni Storm saying some really interesting things about Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, she is.
But that's
not really buddy anymore.
No.
I don't know if that's like kayfabe or like personal.
Right.
I mean, the way that she's saying it makes sense. She's like, this is an interim championship. If I lose, I'm never in the record books. I'm not really a champion.
Mhm.
I have a lot of pressure on my back, and she really does.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for her because she's just not going to pick up this win.
I think she is.
No.
I think she's going to retain.
Jamie Hayter's got this.
No, I don't think
Hayter's going to hate.
I think Tony Khan wants a Thunder Rosa Toni Storm match.
Maybe.
I think that's
just
what he's holding out for.
Definitively.
Because even again, that fourth
I don't know when Thunder Rosa's coming back though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he even said he's. I don't know. I don't know what he's supposed to do with this because you're in a shit show right
Tough
now because
call.
you've been in it for so long. You can't just pull the plug on it and it be fair. But at the same time, how long do you run this interim women's and non-interim and how long do you let somebody be a champion that can't defend their championship?
No, and doesn't know when they'll be back definitively.
Yeah, you did it with CM Punk and it was a shit show.
Yep.
And then the minute it all fucking came to a head, it went even shittier.
Yeah, it was an interim year for AEW.
Yeah.
So assuming that the Acclaim do face Swerve in Our Glory, which I'm really thinking at this point is not going to happen.
Yeah. I picked the Acclaim.
Yeah, I don't see Swerve in Our Glory winning this one. But I don't think this is the time that they break up Swerve in Our Glory yet.
I don't think this match is going to happen, though.
I really don't think it's going to happen either. So
although,
hopefully they have a good backup.
Although I did bring up earlier, I think they need to induct the Freebird rule.
Oh, yeah, I think this is
and
fantastic.
have Billy Gunn fill in.
This is perfect.
For Max Caster, or for
Anthony Bowens. We have Max Caster. We have Daddy Ass versus Swerve in Our Glory. I mean, he's
Ass.
Yeah. Oh. You have this incredible rivalry between Daddy Ass and Swerve Strickland. It would make so much sense that this would happen.
Right.
So much sense that this would happen, but whew,
that's my vote.
That's a quick
Tony Khan
around to practice those moves in the back.
I know, right?
But I mean, this is Billy fucking Gunn. He's been wrestling for 30 goddamn years. He can pull this off.
Oh, I'm sure he can.
If anybody could.
Even with his fingers tied together like
he didn't have hands to
He doesn't have hands. He doesn't have hands. He lost his hands.
He doesn't need them.
His hands. He's got his ass. And then finally, we have
I don't know.
Jon Moxley taking on MJF.
I've gone back and forth, and I have an answer on my paper, but I'm not sure I believe it.
I'm going MJF. I believe.
That's my gut, but I don't know.
I believe that this is the time that Jon Moxley finally gets to go on vacation.
Yeah, he needs that 6 weeks.
But no, I think it would be good to give MJF the belt right now.
I do too.
But I also think it'd be great to just watch him burn to the ground.
Entertaining nonetheless.
I think he's going to win. I think he's going to take it home.
I'm kind of thinking he's going to win it too, but it's tough.
I think the firm is going to come out and they're going to act like they're going to fuck over MJF. And then MJF's going to pull some shit. And even though he's been fighting with the firm, it's all been a ruse. And he's going to pull the ultimate heel to where he dangles the face carrot in front of everybody. And everybody nips at it. Everybody gets a little taste because it scrapes on their teeth. They just barely get it. It's just, and he's just sitting there with the feed in his hand, and we're all just eating out of his hand. And he's just gonna go, "Fuck you," and take away the carrot and take away the feed, and we're all just gonna be sitting there salivating, just like, "Oh, what?
Well,
no, Daddy, no, I want my food. Give me my food." And he's gonna be like, "Fuck you."
Do remember what MJF said to Jon Moxley, and that is the greatest thing the greatest trick the devil ever played was making you believe that he didn't exist. He didn't exist.
Yep. And he said he's gonna see, you are gonna see the devil in me.
One thing I've noticed too is he keeps saying, "I'm not gonna use the Dynamite Diamond Ring," so I keep thinking that means somebody else.
Doesn't mean somebody else won't. Yeah.
Right.
I'm telling you, the firm.
You think he's gonna get a dirty win, or do you think 100%. He'll win it clean?
No. I think he's okay. Let me rephrase that. I think MJF is going to win clean, but I don't think people outside of this match are going to allow it to be as clean as it should be.
Okay, fair enough.
think there's, like I said, I think the firm is going to have something to do with the result of the match. MJF is going to act like he's mad about it, And then once everybody's on his side and booing the firm, he's going to turn around and he's going to shake Stokely's hand.
Okay. You heard it here.
If
right.
I swear to God, Tony Khan, if you fucking
that tweet.
if you pull this shit and all of a sudden do that, I'm driving to Jacksonville. If I swear to God.
He's listening.
He better be. If he is, just come over. Like, what the fuck?
For real, invite us in.
I got weed.
So I think that's going to do it for the podcast for today.
Yeah, 1 hour and 15 is our longest one yet.
Yet? Oh, I kind of rambled on forever about this between Jon Moxley and MJF.
We need to have. We're gonna start making extra episodes.
Just talking about
some coffee talk with coffee and wrestling.
Talk about these promos.
But
can you tell me what you're most excited for, real quick?
For what on Full Gear?
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, Jon Moxley, MJF.
Yeah.
100%.
The rest is just like entertainment. Time to eat some more barbecue.
The trios tags match too.
Interesting to see
number 1 and number 2 on my radar.
Happen. I mean, I feel like they're not going to come out wearing the same outfits they were just rocking like a couple months ago. We're back.
I hope they come out in the exact same outfits that they won the titles in.
Did Tony Khan ever say anything about whether he's going to be doing a media scrum afterwards?
I don't know. Probably not. The last one didn't go over so well.
Say don't do it this time.
Well, I mean, the problem's not there anymore.
Who, Marina Shafir?
Sure. That's his problem. If Marina Shafir is Tony Khan's biggest problem, then he's not got a lot of problems.
I mean, not to be that guy we've talked about a million times before, but Tony Khan should have felt the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
The vibe must have been stank.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to end it on some stank. Follow us on Twitter at CAW Wrestling Pod. We live tweet as much as we can every Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, and Rampage.
If it's there, I'm telling you, it might not be there. Twitter's having a bad day.
I know. Twitter's in the hot seat right now.
But
we're still there.
I'm there. I'm at a bacon party.
I'm at Gunk Dudley. Thank you for listening. We will catch you after Full Gear. Hopefully, the world doesn't burn. Because the devil will be it. Bye.